play at a we have a high standard. I have a high standard, and we're not playing up to that standard right now, and we need to try to work towards that. It starts in practice, it starts in meetings. It's never just one player. In a team game like this, from play to play, it could be one or two guys, but collectively, it's everyone. So everyone, we all have to try to meet that standard and play at a to our potential.
Who challenges you aside from Steve and Chris?
I know our coaching staff. I think I'm one who's, I like communication. I like to be challenged. Our coaching staff, we sit in meetings and, we go back and forth about, things we feel like are best for, individual players, the team, etc. At the end of the day, I have final say, but I'm always going to do what I feel is best for the team, and that communication sparks, different line of thinking at times. I think that's needed in really, any field, any environment. So it's something that I relish. I want communication from players, from coaches, from personnel. Again, I've never sat here and said I have all the answers. But at the end of the day, somebody's got to make a final decision that falls on me, and But in order to make that decision, you need to have all the pertinent information, and I'm trying to gather that at all times in a myriad of areas, whether it be offense, defense, special teams, personnel. There's 100 different areas where I'm trying to gather information to make the right decision for this organization.
What do you think of Joey Bosa?
I think he's one of the top young players in this league. His combination of size, speed, athleticism, and just strictly pass rush. His pass rush technique is at the top of the league. He's got an array of rushes. He's got power. He's got speed. He's got we can get into the technical terms, doubles. We can get into all the technical terms, but he's got it all. But the one thing he has that is a very, very high motor. So even when he doesn't win on the snap, he can win with his second effort and third effort, and that's what you're looking for. That'll be a major test for us. We're gonna just from a pure effort standpoint, we've got to finish every snap on that particular player, and it's not just him. Ingram's, has an array of moves and the type of tenacity that it's coming from both sides. So, and really that's the case throughout the entire defense. So they do a good job. Obviously, those two are the two guys who you definitely have to have eyes on. But they've got from Mebane to they got the young guy Tillery in there who's a good young player as well. Obviously, Thomas Davis is Hayward. They got a good team. So not just one guy. It's not just two guys, and they got 11. And some guys who come in the game is, I think of King, their nickel, who's a really good player as well. So, good team.
Piggybacking off of Joe, player evaluation stage, where do you rank, I guess, high motor and effort as traits when you're looking for players?
I think it's something that, it's one of those things you I don't want to say, to me that's just a standard operating procedure. That's how you should play the game. It's a privilege to play this game, and our guys play with good effort, and when you see it, it's just, hey, that's the way it's supposed to be played. At times, it's not always the case. Guys get tired, they're not in condition, et cetera, but effort, motor, tenacity, willingness to put in the work to have the conditioning to play at that level, over the course of an entire game. That's, I think that speaks volumes. For a player, I know we're talking about Bosa, but a guy who, has all the talent, has all the height, weight, speed. You can tell there's no complacency to that young man, and that's why he plays the way he plays. And they got a lot of players like that. So yeah, that's to me that is that's how you're supposed to play this game. And I think we've got a group of guys who play that way as well.
I know there's some reports out there that Melvin Gordon is going to report. He may not play, but in the event that he does play, is that something that you prepared for?
Yeah, we prepared for everyone. The second that got reported, I went to my Melvin Gordon tape, took a look. Have some familiarity with him. This is one of the best backs in the league, and running the football, runs hard, breaks tackles, catches out of the backfield. He's a good player. So, but they got good backs. We talked about Eckler yesterday and Jones. I mean, they've got an array of backs. So, just add one more to the preparation, and away we go.
What did you see from Evan Bain when he came into the game after as a third?
He played hard, but from an assignment standpoint, he knew where to be, what to do. Communication was good. Again, tough environment, crowd noise, good players. It wasn't all perfect, but he's a guy who's gotten better since he's gotten here every week and getting more comfortable, and hopefully that continues.
Brian, with Josh, Kim Diche, Taco, you guys have acquired 2 first-round players here. I'm hoping that they could pan out in your favor. Do players who are first-round picks, do you think that when they don't pan out immediately, that they have adequate time to develop, in this NFL climate where, expectations are so high for those players?
Yeah, I mean, first round, second round, undrafted, I think you get players, you can get them really anywhere, from a draft selection or undrafted. Really what matters is when you get into a building, you learn the offense or the defense or the kicking game, you apply yourself in the meeting room and through walkthroughs and in practice, and you just try to be the best player you can be. So to me, the round doesn't, I'm not really locked in on the rounds. My focus is on the individual player. You get caught up in rounds and things of that nature, then that kind of takes some of the focus off of the individual and in this case, and his ability to reach his potential for his skill set. So that's kind of my thinking on that. I throw the rounds out and I just focus on the player.
How do you kind of help a player deal with those expectations?
It's the same message I give to the players every day. Let's focus on today. Let's not worry about, what round you're in. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. What matters is the work you put in on a day-to-day basis, whether or not you are doing the things necessary to become the best player you can be. And worrying about what round you're in, I don't know if that necessarily helps you. Conversely, worrying about not being drafted or getting drafted late or getting, whatever the circumstance is that you end up on the team, worrying about that doesn't help you on the field. Maybe it gives you a little bit of motivation, but to me, you need to be, if you're not motivated to play in this league, maybe that gives you a little extra, but most guys are motivated to play and compete and get better. And I see that on this team. I see that, from Kim Diche, from Taco, from really everyone. It doesn't matter, first round, second round, undrafted, Canadian, CFL, it doesn't matter. And that's what I'm looking for. I think those are the kind of guys we have on this team, and I think those are the guys who develop.
Do you like to watch Thursday night football, like the whole game, parts of it? Like, can you watch football for enjoyment, or your whole time will you be like if scouting the Eagles because you have them?
The game's on in the background. A lot of times I'm watching situations, so the end of the half, and how are they using their timeouts, and would I have challenged that, or that's kind of how I watch the game. It's I wouldn't say I feel like I'm still working in a lot of ways. Thursday's a big night for us. It's we're red zone and 2 minute and kind of finishing up like every other team, kind of finishing up the installs and preparation for the next opponent. So no, I'm not sitting there watching the entire game with popcorn, and I'm not doing that. But it's on in the background, and I love watching football. I just watch it a little bit differently than I have in the past. Saturdays?
Yeah.
College football? I've yet to watch one. I watched the end of the Georgia game It was after meeting, so Georgia Notre Dame. It was actually the last play, so it was a Hail Mary at the end. That's all I got. So,
No BC.
unfortunately, I haven't watched much of that. No, we got some other things going on here. So, I think the guys at BC they'll forgive me for not watching everyone. So, yeah. Thank you guys.